Imagine a wheel that's rolling across the ground. It's not skidding, it's not sliding, it's pure, clean motion. What we call this is rolling without slipping. It's rotating without any interference. There's actually two types of motion happening at once. The first type is the wheel is spinning around the center. This is called rotation. Let's write that. The second type of motion that's happening here is that the center of the wheel is translating forward. It's moving forward in a straight line. This, of course, translation. The point of contact between the wheel and the ground is momentarily at rest every single instant. It's not scraping, it's perfectly rolling. So, static friction is what's taking place. And the equation relating these two types of motion is linear velocity, which is the speed it's moving forward, is equal to the radius multiplied by its angular speed, which is the rotation. So that means if it's rolling forward faster, then that means it's rotating faster, it's spinning faster. Let's go through an example problem. You're riding a bike and your tire moves at 8.4 meters per second. You brake and roll to a stop in 115 meters. And the bike tires are very solid, they're very grippy, and there's no slip or rolling. That means we're rolling without slipping. And by the way, the diameter is 68 centimeters. Let's find four values. The initial angular velocity. Let's also look for the amount of full revolutions before stopping, the angular acceleration, and the time it takes to stop. Let's go through this step by step. So, starting with problem A. Well, what does that? So the initial angular velocity would be how fast our wheels are spinning before we come to a full stop. This is given by velocity over radius. And by the way, if you want all these formulas in one place, it's in the description. There's a free formula sheet. And I make one for myself for every topic. You can get your own in the description. Anyway, we know that the velocity is 8.4 meters per second, given here. And the radius, because we know the diameter, the radius will be half of that. So 0.34 meters. Solve this, you get 24.7 radians per second. That's question A answered. How about question 2? How many spins did we do before we came to a stop? Okay, let's look at this. We covered 115 meters of ground. Each revolution is 360 degrees or 2 pi in radians. And each revolution would be one circumference of a circle, right? That's 2 pi r. So let's divide the distance we traveled by the revolutions. The radius, we'll plug in our radius value, which is 0.34 meters. And we get roughly 53.8 revolutions. Because this here is one revolution. And we're looking how many times it happened during here. Time for question C, which is the angular acceleration. This is also on the cheat sheet, but the standard formula is change in angular velocity divided by change in time. But we don't have time. And the thing is, we don't need time. If you remember from kinematic equations, there's one that looks like this. Angular velocity squared is equal to initial angular velocity squared. It's 2 times the acceleration times the displacement. And if we rearrange for acceleration, we get this formula, which is angular acceleration equals the change in velocity squared over 2 times displacement. Great, let's go ahead and solve. So let's plug in our values. Final velocity is 0 because we're coming to a stop. Initial velocity we found earlier, back in problem A, which is 24.7 radians per second. And now we just have to find our angular displacement, which we don't have yet. Angular displacement is how much angle you turned through before we stopped. So we can find this by relating arc length and radius. Why? Imagine our bike wheel. The arc length is how far we traveled. which is 115 meters. Because if you imagine all of the distance we traveled along the edge of the circle, aka the arc length, if you unraveled it or rolled it out, stretched it out into a flat line, you get your linear distance. And that's the total arc length. The radius is important because that's how big your wheel is. And we relate it with division. Anyway, this formula gives us roughly 338 radians. So let's plug that back in. 2 multiplied by 338. Do the calculation, you get angular acceleration is equal to negative 0.902 radians per second squared. Why is it negative? Well, because we're slowing down to a stop. The final problem is finding time. Take a look at this specific kinematic equation. And when you solve for time, you get t equals velocity change divided by angular acceleration. This is equal to 0 minus 24.7 divided by negative 0.902, roughly 27.45 seconds. So that's how long it took to slow down. Anyway, that's it for today. In the next video, I'll cover torque. Torque is a gigantic topic. For every topic I cover, I like to create a free cheat sheet, and I use them myself as well. So if you want your own with all the formulas you'll ever need in one place, then go sign up in the description.